Yes, I'm ready. Awesome, coach.
Yeah. Cool. We figured it out.
So, okay, so we can start now. Ja, guten Abend, liebe Coaches. Zum heutigen Clinic Talk mit Coach Grandenetti und Coach Grandenetti wird uns heute etwas über Wide Receiver Play erzählen. Und da bin ich wirklich ganz gespannt drauf. Erst einmal ein bisschen was noch zum Hintergrund. Coach ist zurzeit Offensive und Recruiting Koordinator an der Jack Britt High School in North Carolina und aktuell, glaube ich, der bekannteste Coach in Amerika, der ebenso wie wir auch Clinics organisiert. Ich glaube, Coach hat über 300 Clinics in den letzten 10 Wochen organisiert, gehalten, bei Google Drive hochgeladen. Und heute haben wir die Ehre, ihm als Redner zuzuhören. Da möchte ich jetzt gar nicht weiter noch erzählen, sondern leite direkt über zu Coach. So, Coach, we are excited to listen to you. I told them that you are the godfather of Zoom clinics and did over, I think, about 300, right? Over 300.
Yeah, it's got to be close to that. Yeah, it's very close to that.
So we are excited to listen to you now, Coach.
No, I appreciate that. And you know, once again, I want to thank you guys so much for having me on. This has been a lot of, you know, obviously being able to host all these Zoom clinics has been really fun. And then now to be able to get to do them is really cool too. And especially for, you know, coaches from overseas, I think that's, I don't know, it's just awesome. So I definitely appreciate the opportunity, and yeah, we'll rock and roll from here. So we're gonna get started here. Once again, my name is Justin Grandenetti. I'm the offensive coordinator, recruiting coordinator at Jack Britt High School in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I've been here for 6 years. Next year will be year 7. Previous to that, I was at Pace University in New York, Pleasantville, New York, for a little bit, 2 years as a full-time assistant, and then kind of more on like a voluntary basis while I was also helping out with some high schools back on Long Island, where I'm from. And before that, I helped out with a JV program a little bit. So I've had a decent amount of coaching experience, I guess, for my age, which has been awesome. And it's, you know, it's definitely, I definitely found my passion in what I want to do in life, and just love coaching and teaching. And, you know, hopefully that you guys will be able to get something out of this. Also, obviously, you know, being the offense coordinator, recruiting coordinator, I also coach the wide receivers. And we'll be talking about wide receiver blocking, which is something that I think kind of gets overlooked in certain regards, right? It's not the fun thing to do for receivers. It's not the thing that, you know, they're getting jacked up for. And for me and our guys at Jack Britt, we make sure it's a priority that our guys are really into the run game and buy into it. I think it shows a total selflessness of an individual to be able to block on plays that, you know, it's, you know, you may be on the backside of something, or, you know, there may be 70, 80 plays in the game. You know, if you get the ball thrown to you 5 times and then say, you know, there's 40 run plays, I mean, you know, the numbers don't add up in a sense, but so you got to be really willing to give max effort all the time, and you know, really be all about your team. So when you get a group of receivers that are willing to run block and block in general, you're going to see some good things happen with your offense. So as you see on the screen, we call it bully ball. That's something that I think there was, I think other people may use the phrase. It's something that I love. We love and pride ourselves on establishing a physical presence. We are going to bully people around. We're going to push people around all game long, from the first whistle to the last whistle. You know, hopefully we're up a decent amount, but even if we're down, nothing changes for our attitude and effort, and we'll kind of get into that. As you see right there in quotes, it says "Man Up Mondays," and the reason I put that is because I don't know about you guys, when we start practicing in a week, you know, you get, especially the high school level, guys sometimes can tend to come in flat off the weekend. You know, it's that case of the Mondays type of deal where these dudes just come in flat, and it's like, man, you gotta, you know, it's just like pulling teeth sometimes to get these guys started. Well, you know, my mentality is like, okay, well, to get you guys active, we are going to get out and start banging. We're going to be physical. So we work on our blocking on Mondays. I want to be physical to start the week off, and I feel like that just kind of sets the bar for the rest of the week. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. It's just what we do at Jack Break. And as you see here at the bottom of the screen, it says no block, no clock. Okay, so a lot of people have coined the phrase, or you've heard the phrase before, no block, no rock, meaning, if you don't block, you're not going to get the ball. Well, for us, and this is actually something I got from Coach Kelly. He was talking about his guys, if they don't block, they're not going to play. Well, we say no block, no clock. And what does the clock do? It tells time, and you're not going to get any time if you're not willing to block. So if you're not going to be out there, giving all for your teammates, then you'll just be sitting on the bench watching the clock and watching the game like the rest of the fans. So it is important to us. It's paramount. And, like I said, we certainly pride ourselves on that. And on the bottom right, that's just kind of what we call ourselves, Fight Club. If you've seen the movie Fight Club, it's kind of a play off words there. So we'll get into it here. Okay, so what it's going to take, all right? Blocking is a want to, all right? You have to carry a certain mindset. Here's the deal, right? For us, in my opinion, right, it is 90% effort and attitude. I mean, don't get me wrong. We're going to work techniques. We're going to work all the fundamentals. We're going to work all that stuff because that's important too. But if you just go out there with maximum effort and you refuse to be beat, you're going to be a pretty effective blocker. If you have the 90%, I can fix the 10. I'll get that 10 going. Okay. You got to come with that 90. Once you do, we are smooth sailing. Okay. And you have to have a sense of urgency, meaning like you just have to move with purpose constantly all across that field. We're not waiting around. We're going to get in there. We're going to be physical, and we're going to move people around. And it's with our effort and attitude. And once again, that small little bit of technique. Okay. It's going to come down to the effort you give and the attitude you bring, as you see on that screen right there. Okay. All right. Just a quick little slide right here on just the proper technique. I found this picture a couple of years ago. I liked it. Just, hat low, thumbs up, elbows in. Actually, when we block, some people talk about, you got to shoot your hands. You got to shoot your hands. Well, for me, and how I explain it, because I want these dudes to keep their elbows tight, I actually tell them to shoot the elbows. I feel like when I started to say shooting the elbows, they're really focused because we talk about hitting the breastplate, okay, hitting this breastplate right in here. We talk about hitting the breastplate right in here. So when we shoot our elbows, that's our aiming point. So if I'm shooting my elbows, I'm naturally going to shoot for that specific spot, and my hands are going to naturally stay tight. If my elbows are tight, my hands are going to be tight. So we talk about shooting the elbows. Okay, where it all starts, I'm a big stance and start guy. I break down, like if we're talking about route running, for me, I actually break it down in 4 phases, and the first phase is the stance and start. You got to execute a really good stance and start, meaning no false movements, no false steps. We want to optimize, our ability to get off the ball. Okay, so if we happen to move our foot or dip or something like that, is it the end of the world? No, it's not the end of the world. But you know what? We want to be as efficient as possible at that line of scrimmage. Okay. My mentality is this: your body is always going to correct itself. Meaning, if you look at this picture on the right with the dude, he's got his back knee bent. Now, if he was standing a little further straight up and his leg was straighter, when he takes off, he's going to dip and get right back into this position. If they were taking snapshots of him as he took off, as soon as he dipped and to take off, if you took a snapshot, he'd be in that position that he is right now. Okay, so your body's always going to correct itself. Same thing with this front toe right here. If this dude's front toe is pointed this way, it's kind of cocked inside, which you see some receivers do, first thing you're going to do is turn that foot and then roll off. So we're going to eliminate all that, okay? As you see on the bottom, your body always corrects itself, okay? All right, attacking the defender. All right, obviously, our job is to ensure that we get between the defender and the ball carrier, no matter what the block is. So why that stance and start, just kind of going back a little bit, is so important is because we want to be efficient. We don't want to waste time at the line of scrimmage. We are looking to get down the field as fast as possible and eat that cushion up. You guys would agree. If the further down the field we attack the defender, the more space the ball carrier has, which is going to equal a good thing, right? If your running backs or whoever gets the ball, if it's a screen, if it's another receiver, whoever has the ball, if they have more room to work, then we're going to be more successful. That offensive play is going to be more successful. So whatever the cushion is, whatever the cushion that DB is given, if we're stalk blocking this guy right here, as it shows in the picture, we are hauling tail, kind of going back to that sense of urgency, hauling our butt off, all right, to get all the way down, all right, and attack as downfield as possible so we can give our ball carrier the most room to work. All right, breaking down. So here's where, for me, I think I do it differently than other places, okay? And I used to be a guy that said, break down, 3 yards from the guy, 4 yards from the guy, whatever it is. And if there's receivers coaches in here, you can, I'm sure you could let me know what you've been coaching as far as like maybe a yard line or whatever. We do it differently. So I was at a clinic a few years ago, and I was listening to Coach Guerreri and at the time Coach DJ when he was at Duke. They were talking about just some of their man principles and some other stuff, and they talked about how they key the near hip, which a lot of DB coaches do. You key the near hip for that change of direction, right? That's why they key the near hip. So as I'm watching that and my eyes are on it, if I see any kind of dip with that hip on it, I know there's a change of direction coming. I know there's some kind of route breaking, right? So we're going to do the same thing with blocking. Okay, so as the receiver comes down the field, our eyes are going to be on that near hip. As soon as we see it sink, we start to sink. Now you may ask the question, well, Coach G, if I'm attacking and that receiver is 10 yards down the field and he starts to sink, well, now what? Well, 10 yards is plenty of space for us to be able to kind of dissect what's going on and then make a move from there. Okay, we don't necessarily have to break down if the dude breaks down 10 yards from us. We can continue to eat the cushion, but now he's already in that forward motion, so we already know what to expect. We already see how he's moving, if that makes sense. So our eyes are going to be locked on the hip. We do a drill where we'll just kind of work stalk blocking, and I will put a cone either myself or usually on myself. Sometimes we'll get the receivers to kind of partner up, but they'll put a cone in their waistline, so that the receiver has to have his eyes are locked into that bright yellow cone. Okay, so your eyes are going to be on that hip. As you see in the couple bullet points, right? You attack the defender, lock your eyes on the near hip. All right, as you initiate your breakdown, take short, choppy steps, right? We don't want to overstride. We want to be under control. Our hips have to be sunk because we want to be explosive, right? If we have to change direction, we have to be explosive as possible. The way I explain it is this. And to me, I feel like this is a perfect way to explain to a young player, whatever position, about having good shoulder width a base. Because you tell them this: if I were to ask you to run or to jump, do a vertical jump right now. I mean, jump as high as you can. You're vertical testing for the NFL Combine. Are you gonna start with your feet super wide? Are they gonna be super narrow, or are they gonna be at that base that's right outside shoulder width? All right, to maximize explosion. It's the same thing when you're breaking down. If we want to be explosive as possible when we're changing direction, going side to side, then our base needs to be correct. So if we're too wide with our base, that's not good. Now, once you're engaged, all right, having a wider base is not the end of the world, and it helps us. But when we're breaking down and we need to be explosive out of our movements with our coiled hips, we need to have right around shoulder width, if right outside shoulder width. Okay, hands active. Okay, got to get your hands active. So as I'm breaking down, my hands are ready to strike. Once they're in that position, we're looking to beat people to the punch. So if that DB is looking to get his hands on us and keep that distance, right? They talk about keeping that distance. We got to get our hands in there first. So no dead hands and be ready to read and react. Okay. Leverage. We talk about leverage. Obviously, it's a big thing. If I'm looking to block a dude and he's lower than I am, it's going to be tough unless I'm way stronger than him. Okay, use that leverage to your advantage. That's why in that earlier picture where we had the hairline, the hairline low. Okay, we want to get low enough so we have good leverage on that defender, and now we can be in control. Okay, the times where guys are super tall, they get tossed all over the field, and that's just not good. Okay, as you see, if you're higher than the defender, you're at a disadvantage. So the leverage is important. So when we're doing our drill, we're working our stalk blocking with the cone or without the cone, we're just looking to fit up to the defender. I have them always fit up right in that position with a good leverage until I blow that whistle. If they pop up or whatever early, that's no good. We got to redo the rep or whatever the case would be. We're going to attack, break it down, fit up in that position, hold that leverage, and then the next rep goes. Okay, making contact. Love this, right? I'm all about it. I didn't play receiver, and when I played, I was more of a fullback, played some D line. So I like being physical. So I love this aspect of it, is making the contact. Right, your hand should already be in the up and ready position to execute a good strike. So as I'm coming there, right, we talked about before. Our hands are active. Thumbs up, elbows tighten inside, aiming towards the breastplate. You hit that breastplate and get a good grip on it. You can control where he goes. Okay, strike with the heels of your hands. Okay, heels of your hands. We don't want to patty cake it. I know you guys have seen it, right? Guys are like patty caking and doing this and doing that. No, we don't want to do that. Okay, we want to make sure that our hands are tight. That we're hitting with the heels of our hands. So there's a good strike guard there. And then if you see onto the left of the screen, take the air out. This is so important. Defenders, right? What defenders want to do is they want to keep the space, right? If I'm a DB or I'm outside linebacker, whatever. Okay, and I engage that block. All right, I'm looking to keep space so I can now shed and move and make a move. Well, we are going to eliminate that. So we call it taking the air out. All right, got it from Coach Leaves with Sideline Hustle. He talks about it all the time. You got to take the air out. So once that contact is made, violently pull the defender back into your body. Right now, also when you pull him in tight, you have way more control. If this dude is out here, all right. Not only am I not in control, but sometimes I can lose my balance or my leverage because I start to lean. If my feet start to go dead or whatever, you got to run your feet if that's the case. But in tighter, you're more in control, and that's what we're looking to do. And then grabbing outside will increase the chance of getting a holding call, obviously. So you got to really fight for that position. But taking the air out will ensure that happens. Okay, staying with the defender. All right, so we kind of touched on it a little bit before, but just like basketball, guys, lateral quickness, right? That dude breaks down. He's going to have to go left or right. I mean, he may look to get through you, but that doesn't always happen. All right, they look to kind of more go around you than go through you. So you're going to have to be able to laterally move and cut him off. All right, so keeping the hips sunk in coil will ensure the good leverage. We talked about that before. And then the feet, should always stay active, right? Slow feet don't eat. You've heard that saying a million times. Okay, stopping them the easiest way to get beat by stopping your feet is the easiest way to get beat by the defender. Never look back at the ball carrier. You guys have been coaching now for a bit. I'm sure you've seen it. Receivers will come up and they will look to block a DB, and maybe they make a contact, and now all of a sudden they're turning their head back looking where the ball carrier is. For what? Let the ball carrier do his job. His job is to read your block. Your job is to block. I tell the guys, you have two options. You have two options to watch the run play. In film on Saturday or from the sideline. It's your choice. Okay, you're not going to be watching it mid-play. If that's the case, then you're making the choice from watching it on the sideline. So you can watch it, on Saturdays, right, when we meet, or you can watch it from the sidelines. Okay, and always block through the whistle. That is so important. So we'll do some stuff on like Mondays, right? Tell me we man up Mondays. Okay, one of the things that we do is I'll just throw a tire out there, like a little, an actual car tire. And they just do the one-on-one tug of wars, and they have to go until that whistle is blown. It is important. It is imperative that they constantly give effort through that whistle. Stopping early is no good. It's non-negotiable. You can't do that. Okay? You need to be constantly working until you hear that whistle's blown. So you know what? If I happen, and we had a few of them. We had a few of them this year. All right? We had a few of them this year where our guys kind of got calls because, hey, man, just kind of ease up or whatever because we're blocking through the whistle. I will take that all day long. Okay. And then obviously, y'all know who Kobe Bryant is, man. And one of the better defenders in NBA history. And, you just watch some of his stuff. And I mean, that's a perfect position right there. Okay. Attitude and effort. And this is what I'm talking about. And this is the stuff that I love. Okay. So this is where the elite blockers separate themselves. Receivers, especially on the high school level, want to do everything but block. So at Brick, physical play at the receiver position is the standard. We carry an attitude with us while giving max effort. You don't block, you don't play. It's just plain and simple. This is Kelvin Benjamin. When he was at Florida State, I love this clip. I show it all the time. But I mean, it's just attitude and effort right there, guys. I mean, you could say what you want about the technique. I mean, it's not the most spectacular thing in the world, but he just wants to dominate the guy across from him. We are at a position where the guy across from us has just as much, if not more, confidence, swag, all that stuff. You have to be able to bring it. This will establish the physical play, and you will gain the mental edge by being physical like this. A dude does not want to get hit like that all game. I've never seen a guy want to get hit like that all game. Okay? Now, I haven't been coaching forever, but I just haven't seen it. All right, so doing stuff like this will ensure that it happens. Okay, and it just kind of in conclusion, I'll just touch on the part just refusing to lose, guys, and it's just that attitude, man. If there's gonna be times, man, you're not gonna win the rep. That's okay. It happens. I tell the guys all the time, like, if we run 60, 70 plays in a game, chances of you not winning one are pretty likely. But you got to be willing to come back the next play and continue to push and continue to fight and continue to work every single time. Refuse to lose, all right? Whatever it is, whatever that rep is, you're battling, okay? It happens, but we just refuse to lose, all right? And that's just kind of what it is. And it's just, once again, guys, that attitude and effort. And then I read that last sentence. Be the hardest working individual who gives the most effort while being the best teammate because of sacrifice, dedication, and selflessness. That is the standard. I got a question here. How do you teach effort and the mentality? I was teammates with a wide receiver. Yeah, no, that's a great question. Okay, so it's just honestly demanding more out of your players. So little things. As far as like, we'll say we're running a drill. I require those dudes to jog it all the way back until the end of the line. Does that seem like, maybe I'm over the top? I don't know. But it's just something that they know I'm going to constantly be on them about. If we're running stance and start in our pre-practice stuff, all right, and their job is to sprint 10 yards, well, really what I'm saying is sprint 12 yards, 13, 14 yards. All right, I have guys that kind of pull up right at the line, and we call them out on it. You know what I mean? And I'll even ask them. I want these guys to be honest with me. So I'll be like, I'll ask them, was that the hardest you can run? Did you run all the way through the line? They say, no, we may get into up downs. I mean, I've had guys, we've had stuff where we've gotten up downs, a bunch. It's just that constant, like, if you're going to establish a certain culture of effort and attitude, things like that, you have to be consistent with your approach. If a dude runs and sprints and he pulls up at 9.5, and you pretend like you didn't see it, well, just know that he's going to do it again. So knowing that you're going to constantly get on him about those little things. Now, of course, we can't be in 10 places at once. And as receivers coaches, if you go, if you're a spread offense, there's 4 receivers on the field. So sometimes it's tough, but we'll catch it in film. Trust me. Another thing that we did that I really liked was, we worked our conditioning sometimes in individual drill, and or sometimes after practice. But it's conditioning. I stress this. It is not a punishment. I am not punishing you. We're receivers. We got to run. You need to be constantly moving out there. So we need to be conditioned. So there was the first few times, actually the first time I did it, I had them I said, look, we're going to run these gassers down and back. You group, you're going to let me know when you're done. I'm not giving you a number. I just want you to work. And they're running, and they're going, and I'm blowing the whistle. In my mind, I'm like, I wanted them to get to 10, and they kept pushing it. They ended up getting to about 25, you know what I mean? And guys were getting gassed, and they were starting to turn on each other a little bit, kind of getting snappy. But we would do that, and it would just build that mental toughness, knowing like, yeah, it's going to suck. Like, you got to get through it. One of the phrases that we always say is want the work. You just have to want the work. That's the way you're going to improve. That's the way you're going to get better. You got to want the work that's given to you. All right. And it's just, and that along with being just really consistent with your approach will definitely build that and get that effort and that mentality going. I hope I answered that question. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing this one screen, and then I am going to share or make my other screen the host. And I am going to get some film here, and we'll kind of walk through these clips. And once again, guys, if anybody has any questions, please feel free. Can you guys see that?
Yes, we can see it now, Coach. We see your huddle account. Okay,
you see that? You see the 2 kids, right? Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. So these are 2 of my receivers that I just had, work on. This is a while back now, but I just had them film some stuff just because, once again, I didn't have a ton of the film that I wanted. But this is a drill that we'll kind of start with sometimes, and it's just working on the good body position. As you see this receiver here, right? He's got the good body position, all right, we work on shooting the hands, and then work on taking the air out, and then we'll drive. And you can work this as a progression, which we will sometimes, right? So what we'll do to progress, we may work the receiver, tighten this up a little bit, and we'll just work on that position, just strike, strike, strike. And then the next time through, we may do strike, take the air out. And then we'll do strike, take the air out, drive. So in this one, they're working on strike, take the air out, and driving. So you see them, strike, take the air out, okay, and drive. Now, what we don't want, okay, and it's tough sometimes, but you don't want to lose too much ground or like kick back too much like that. Okay, sometimes, I mean, it does happen. I mean, if you secure the block, you secure the block. You want to strike, pull the air, take the air out, okay? Your feet are going to be, now this is a little different because his feet are obviously stationary here. We want to keep our feet active, but you see, take the air out, all right? There is no space here, okay? Now we're in control, and now you drive. And once again, you see right here, he's got a little bit wider base than his shoulder width, which when you're doing in this position and blocking, and as you see linemen do, this is okay now, okay? This is okay because we're already engaged. We're already taking the air out. We're good, okay? Same thing. And just drive them out, okay? Same thing, same thing. There's the other receiver going, all right? Shooting for that breastplate, thumbs up. Obviously they don't have pads on, but we look to get a good strike here, okay? We look to get a good strike and drive them out. Once again, take the air out, drive out. Good stuff, okay? Now, please forgive my receiver with the crappy the hands right here. I don't know what that was, but all right. So here now they're just working on breaking down, fitting up. And once again, this is what we're looking for. We're gonna look to break it down, okay? Fit up, wait for the whistle. Now right here, his hands are a little low. All right, we got to get higher up here on the breastplate. But overall, all right, that's what we're looking for, that breakdown. His head position is good, right? His base is good. So we're fine here, okay? We're fine. Okay, so now we're working on just cutting off. So what we're gonna see is, right, we're attacking the DB. He breaks it off, okay? So depending on what he's looking like, and if you guys have seen certain tackling videos, right? When their shoulders are square, when their shoulders are turned, our shoulders are turned, okay? Because that means he's in a run. If we're laterally shuffling this whole way, there's no way we're gonna get there. So we will look to run and cut him off if we see them turning and running. Now, if he squares up, then we're gonna square up and start to break down, if that makes sense, okay? But if you see here, we always talk about attacking the space and not the man. Okay, if he goes right now, he goes and attacks this guy right here, he's going to be gone. He'll be gone. So you have to attack the space. I'd rather you get there early than late. Does that make sense? I'd rather you get there early than late. Okay. Okay. So here's a drill that will work. Now this works when you can't get engaged, or you either lost the engagement of the hands. Maybe we weren't able to take the air out enough. All right. And now that DB is starting to beat you over the top. Okay. So how do you combat that? So for instance, right, if that guy starts to get out our framework, if we reach out our arm, that's going to be a hold all day long. So how do we combat that? What do we do? What do we do to combat that? Okay. We have to have a solution here. So this is just a drill. What we'll do is we're looking, right, if that guy is starting to beat us across the face, and we're looking, that ball carrier is, right, in this instance, going to the receiver's right. The reason he's punching the shoulders is because we want to punch through that shoulder and get the DB's shoulders turned. If I can get his shoulders turned, now I can position my butt, all right, in the hole, and now we're good. Okay, so he's going to punch. He's going to get a few punches here. Then the DB is going to turn and run. All right, now, once again, when he turns and run, we have to turn and run. So when we're close like this, in close proximity like this, we're going to run. We're going to rip our arm up and run. So while we rip it, we want to get under that. We want to shoot right above that elbow so we get enough arm And see how the dude's arm is going up? So when your arm goes up, now now we're going to actually turn the DB. We're going to turn his shoulders, and it makes it for an easier block. And now we're between the ball carrier, okay, and the defender. And that's what we want. If the ball carrier's out here, he's not getting this, he's not making this play. If he does, it's down the field, and we're good. As long as you get between the ball carrier and the defender, all right, that's the job. Whether we pancake him or not, all right, we just have to find a way. So sometimes we got to work it like this. I love this drill. I think it's great because a lot of times guys will get out of position. So here's another rep, okay? Now he goes, watch his left arm. He's got to rip and run. See, now he rips and gets under that shoulder. And look what happens to the dude in the gray. When he rips underneath that arm, watch his body turn. See that? Because that's what's going to happen. You're going to rip up violently, all right, and get him turned, and that's what we want. Just another view of it. Sometimes you don't get the rip. Once again, what's the important part? Being in between him and the ball carrier. Being in between him and the ball carrier. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. I didn't see one of the questions here. Do you mix the whole offense in with your wide receivers? Basically the same with the running. Mix the whole offense in with the wide receivers as far as blocking goes. If you're talking about mixing the whole offense in as far as blocking goes, they kind of do their own separate blocking, because ours is a little different just because it's that kind of stalk blocking mentality. Now, we will go over certain techniques are similar, but when it comes to teaching the blocking aspect of it, it's more on an individual basis. Okay, that's a good question, though. Okay, so we're going to get into some film. And once again, the film is kind of all over the place, but I'll just kind of break down each clip on a blocking standpoint, okay? So this is just a screen drill that we worked, okay? So it's either a bubble screen, okay, or just like a quick little tunnel screen or now screen here. So this one we're running a bubble screen. So this receiver number 36 is going to attack here. He's a younger dude, man. He just came out here. Obviously, this is early on. Shoot, might have been in camp early in the summer, or in camp, and early on the school year. But you see, man, foot's off, all that stuff, right? So, once again, we got, certain things got to be fixed. But let's watch his effort and attitude here. So he does a great job, right? You can tell he's sprinting off the ball. He is getting it. Now, the DB doesn't give up any ground, okay? So once again, if that DB is just standing there or he's coming downhill, all right, and we have some space to work, it's easy for us to kind of decipher what's going on, all right? So we're not going to miss it. So you see here, he's sprinting, but he sees the breakdown, okay? He sees the DB come downhill. He understands you're able to get a gauge, all right, with your depth perception here, and he breaks down, okay? Good breakdown right here. Now, little bit wide with the feet. It's got a little too wide. Now, once you're engaged, even that, it's just a little wide right here, okay? So, I'd like him to tighten that up. But his hands go inside. The leverage is better, right? He has better leverage than the DB here, okay? And the thing that I like about this rep, and once again, guys, the technique may not be the best, but his effort and his attitude right here is just he's refusing to be beat. He's refusing to be beat. So, and it's going to look like a fight. It should. This is physical play. You want to be participating in bully ball, you got to be physical. So right here, man, that dude's he's having a hard time getting off the block. Okay, now you gotta be careful. Losing your head. Sometimes we duck our head or something, but right here can be tricky, right? This guy's starting to beat us over top, so that you're getting in that realm of holding. So he's got to work hard to get his hat back across to the other side, and now we're good. But the effort and attitude was good there. As well as another one. Okay, same thing here. Okay, coming off the ball, bubble. So watch the breakdown of the DB compared to the breakdown of the receiver. I wouldn't say it's simultaneous, but it's pretty close. So breakdown. See that? Because where his eyes should be, near hip. If his eyes are on the near hip, you're going to be able to key that change of direction. There's the breakdown. Good, right? But now you get into that realm. So, he's got to do a better job not leaning so much, but you see how he recovers. Okay, he recovers right here because, and this is wonderful to show, because if he had his hands extended, guys, and this DB right here does what he does, then our guy is getting tossed. But the fact that he ends up taking the air route, you become way more difficult to throw. Think about it, right? Way more difficult to throw because I have, not only do I have you pulled in, but I have you pulled in and I'm dropping my weight down. So I'm a heavier object. Okay. So he pulls him in, and that's tough. That's a good job by him, man. It's a good job. And just being physical, man. So, that very towards the end right there, that, obviously that's not good. I mean, it's tough to block a skill guy for multiple seconds, but he's gotta work that hand back inside. Can't get outside like that. Okay. Another one now, working a different screen. Same thing though. Same idea. Okay. Dude's already coming downhill, so we're able to dissect it. Hands inside, and just keep working. Just keep working. See, now he's engaged, so now you can, the base is a little wider, never cross the feet. So you see how he's just working. Now right here, and this is why he gets beat at the end, watch him cross his feet right there. And see how the DB is able to slip off? You cross the feet, man, it's a wrap. Gotta be careful there. Okay, I think this is one of the, okay. Receiver right here in the slot. Effort, could be better for sure. Definitely could be better. Now here's where he messes up. Okay, he's gonna go and break down, but when he breaks down, he hops. So when he hops, he suspends himself in air just for a split second, and that split second gives the DB more time. Right? He's in air, the DB's not. So it doesn't always end well. So right here, he takes a shot. Boom. Okay, because of the fact that that little hop right there. So he's suspended in air right there while the DB is moving. So now you got to wait till you land and then take on the brunt of a hit. It's just too much, man. And now he's taking a shot, right? The DB has better leverage. Okay, so you getting under that helmet there, or you getting under that chin. Okay, that's tough. But what I will say is he takes a shot. Okay, but he's battling. Does he get driven back? Yes. But is he battling? Absolutely. I'll take it. Yeah, in this period, if we're doing the screen recognition stuff, yeah, it's just screens. Now, our DC and our DB coach right there, just to keep the DBs on their toes, we'll kind of throw in a screen and go once in a while, but it is just a screen period. Helps both sides out. All right, here's another clip here. Okay. Breakdown, right? I mean, once again, is it simultaneous? Nah, maybe not, but pretty close. But he does a good job here. Now, the one thing I'll say is there's no strike. He's just kind of grabbing. Okay, so I'd like to see a good strike. But he does a good job right there. Now, if you have him right there, what he could do is he could just drive him out, man. You got your hat across, take him where he wants to go. All right. And once you do that and you kind of force him to that way, he can't pull you back this way. So now when he pulls him back, this is where you get into that holding realm, because now you're leaning and no good. So I tell our guys all the time, man, it's going to happen. You're going to get caught leaning and your hands are going to get wide, and that dude's just let him go. All right. And I know it may sound bad, but I will take a 3-yard gain, all right, over a 10-yard loss or whatever it is. Okay. That holding call could be crucial, man, especially early. Anytime in the drive. Those holding calls are killer. Let's watch another one. Okay, here we go. Once again, all right, breakdown, pretty good, but just no strike. There's no strike, okay? I got to see a strike. Now, base is wide, but see how far he's leaning? Look how far he's leaning. Now, guys, if your receiver is getting to that point where they're popping, okay, and they're leaning too much, what they need to do, you have to have them run their feet. So we'll do a drill, right, where I'll have the receiver, and they'll partner up, and I'll have the receiver who is the receiver and blocking. I'll have him be engaged but leaning at a position, and on the whistle, they just run their feet as fast as possible and bring them back in. So lean, whistle, run the feet back in, pull them back in. Okay. You try to get their feet parallel once they get into the breakdown up front, in front of the defender, so they have it a little easier to block in all directions. Well, we definitely want, so if I'm going to break down, we certainly want a good base where, you know, we're not, you know, if we're slightly staggered, that's okay. Our toes are going to be pointed forward, right? Because that's where we're working. So once again, just think of that basketball, the picture of Kobe Bryant, just that basketball position, right? Think about a dude on the court. You know, his feet are shoulder width apart or slightly outside, and we're locked into that position. So now we can move laterally. I know some coaches, you know, sometimes have it where they're staggered up, which, you know, I guess sometimes you may have some good, you know, be able to get some good drive there. You know, we'll just keep our feet parallel, and now we're able to kind of move. All right. And once again, it's that lateral movement that we're going to need. Okay. If we move laterally when we're supposed to and beat the guy to the spot and not attack the man, all right, we shouldn't be chasing anybody. We should be able to cut off. All right. I hope that answers the question. Okay. Just some game clips here. So I want you to watch the slot receiver here. Now, this is pretty textbook as far as now, you know, his effort coming off the ball could be better, but the breakdown, the strike, and the drive is all good. Okay. So he's going to get up here. Once again, he could come off, he could fire off the ball better, right? He's a little slow. But watch the breakdown. So dude's there's the breakdown. So he starts to break down. Now, he could have closed the gap a little bit because that's it's 5 yards. All right. So you can decipher with your eyes, all right, what to do. But I'm not mad at this. What I do like though is watch when he makes contact. I want you to watch this dude's helmet. Boom. You see how it snaps back? That's what we like, man. Guys, y'all know the deal, man. Football is a violent game. Now, I'm not out there condoning hurting anybody. What I am saying is this is a violent game, and we're going to play violent. So, yes, I love it when our dudes get a good enough strike and we snap a dude's head back. I love it. I love. And then watch the finish. Watch how he takes him to the sideline. Drive. And look at his base, right? Look at his base. Here's one foot. Here's the other foot compared to this dude's feet. You see how the wider base is going to put us in better control. Okay? Better control. Do you just push the DB? So it depends. So the question was asked, do you push the DB anywhere or just a specific spot or just any direction, basically? You know what? It depends, right? So, in certain scenarios, if we're looking to, say, hit a screen and we want to get outside of that, then we will have to aim and look to get to a certain shoulder and get him turned in. More times than not, like on the stalk blocking stuff. On the stalk blocking, it's just you got to get the guy blocked and then let the ball carrier do the rest. Let the ball carrier make his move off that, okay? There are times where a dude will dive. Like if I'm going to run out here, like right here, if this dude starts to dive down here, okay, I'm going to get a piece of him and I'm going to take him where he wants to go and just drive him out of there, okay? Drive him out of there. Hope that answered the question. The ball carrier, obviously they don't, but the ball carrier, the expression, right? The ball carriers get paid too. Like those dudes get paid too. They got a job to do as well. So they got to read these blocks. But yeah, in certain scenarios, yes, we will look to get guys blocked a certain way or turned a certain way. Guys, give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second. Sorry about that. I just have to get my dog for a second. Okay. All right. So clip here. 2 receivers down at the bottom. So I'm going to pinpoint a couple things here. Okay. We'll watch the slot guy first. Okay. Now the slot guy right here, what he's doing that I like now, initially, you see how he attacks vertical. All right. And then works to the side. I mean, right here he's getting the job done. So I'm not mad at that. Now we can help our cause out by kind of just taking an angle, all right, and looking to cut him off. But what I will say is this, and this goes for route running too. Like if he's running a route, he's doing a great job because attacking the dude vertically, what does that do? It keeps this guy in this spot. So what he's doing right here is actually pretty smart. So he keeps him in that spot until he's ready to make the move, and now he actually has that leverage. Now he's got to do a better job fighting his hat across to that side, okay? But that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Now in this scenario, and this is kind of before I started coaching it up and teaching it, but you know, in this scenario, he could do what we were doing in that drill before, and now take this inside arm, rip it under his armpit, and run and just cut him off. See how the dude ends up beating him across? Dude ends up beating him across the face right there. So now he's ahead of us. Now, if we reach and run, we maintain, okay? Now, I want you to watch this right here. Not a, you know, there's no blocking that's going to be happening, but I just want you to watch something. You see that? Like, this is what I'm talking about, guys, about the bully ball mentality. Is like, no matter where you are, we are going to be on you. We want you to feel that pressure. So yeah, you are totally irrelevant to the play right now. He doesn't even get he just gets his hands on him at the end. Doesn't even matter. You have to know that when you're playing us, we are going to chase you up and down this field all night long. I want you to feel so uncomfortable knowing that there's no, like, we are not taking a single play off. So what you're going to do, right? These defenders, they don't, you know, you're not going to always like that. So they may back off a little more, give you more cushion, more space, just helps you out. But we are going to attack. Look at him. He's just going to go. Still gets hands on him. Like, we are going to chase and get hands on as many people as possible, all right, and whoever is possible. But, I mean, he's all the way off the screen, but he is chasing him down the field. Love that. Love that. Okay. All right, down here. Outside guy right here. This is what we just, you know, you just got to find work. You just got to find work. So right here, now, one thing I don't like is, right, his arm is outside. So that's not good. We want to fight that arm back into position and get that inside, you know, get on that breastplate. Okay, so but he's working, though. He is working. He is working. And then this is what I like, okay? Now the dude ends up shedding him at the end, but he's blocked him up. He's blocked him up pretty good. Take him out. He's blocking him up pretty good. He's blocking him up pretty good. Now watch this. When he comes off, he finds another dude to get. I love that. I mean, like, he's just looking for work. That's what we love to see that stuff. Okay, same here, down at the bottom. Just being physical, man. Once again, it's that bully ball mentality. Like, you know, on every single rep, we are just going to be in your grill. Like, we're just going to be constantly working you. Okay. And you know what? Yeah, we may get it. They call it a holding call on this now. You know, I don't know. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, they're both jockeying for position, but you know, it is what it is. I mean, you know, they made the call. You know, got to take what it is. But I love it. You know, and once in a while to get a holding call or to get a, you know, some type of warning just because you're being physical. Yes, I will take that. I tell them I'll take it. I mean, look, they're getting after it. And it's just constantly wanting to work the dude. It's just max effort all the time. Okay, same receiver. He had a good blocking game, this one. But look at him. He's just down the field. You see, and this is what I like. Watch him strike again. I mean, he's on him the whole way. All right, that's good stuff. That's really good. Really good stuff. Okay, this is a sophomore down here. We had to pull him up when we had an injury. Okay, now I don't like all this hoppy crap right here. I don't know what that was, but you know, and there's no strike here. It's just kind of, they're patty caking. But he's working. He's working. All right, now he can, you know, understand. You can see where the DB is wanting to get to. All right, work that hat across and keep fighting. Now he does, but he's starting to get tall, and that's kind of why he gets tossed right there. Do you let them play, since you play bully ball, do you let them run a go route when they know it is man press? You still teach? Yeah, yeah, absolutely, and that's a good point. So the question was asked, you know, if we're you know, we want to be physical always, all right, but obviously in man situations, you can work a release and run a guy off. We are going to steal a release every single time. So if we're in a run situation, all right, and it's press man, yes, we're going to work a release. And I always tell them, as when you work that release, you get down the field, you still want to get hands on them. So cool, we're gonna work that release. The DB's gonna think we're running a vertical, and then we're just gonna lay into them. Okay, Coach Leaves calls it a tilt technique. All right, you just want to constantly lay into him. I think I have a clip on here in a few. That's a good question though. That's a really good question. All right, up top, same receiver. I mean, he ends up getting a flag here for unnecessary roughness or something, but I don't see anything wrong. This is what I coach him to do. So did I get mad at him? Absolutely not. But what is he doing wrong? Okay, he is engaged. He is fighting with him, and he is driving him into the turf. What's wrong with that? But can't always get the calls, and it just happens like that. But I'll take it. I will take it. Okay, up top, kind of going back to that obviously not on the same level, but that Kelvin Benjamin clip is just coming off the ball with purpose, bad intentions, just max effort, attitude, right here, drive him into the dirt. Love it. I love it. When your receivers can do this, man, and they start to do that, and I'm not, sitting there boasting or anything like that. We work hard at it, and trust me, they've made a lot of mistakes along the way too. Okay, a lot of blocking blunders that I had to get in their ass about. But you know what? We'll get some of these like this, and I tell the guys all the time, man, I get more jacked up about seeing this than a touchdown grab. Now, mind you, okay. And this was asked previously on another talk. I can't remember, but sometimes your receivers, your best guys, like the guys that are catching all the touchdowns. I mean, record setters and all that stuff. I mean, how do you get them to buy into the run game and things like that? This kid right here, that kid right there, set multiple county records. He was one of the top receivers in the state of North Carolina. Okay, you just got to get him to buy in. You know the deal. The kids will. If you show how much you care about the kids, right, then they will care. Then they will care, and they will do whatever. They will do whatever for you. Okay. So once you build that relationship with the kids, now what's important to you will be important to them. So they understand. Like, run blocking is important to me. It is super important to me. You have to be able to run block, all right, to be able to play in this group. And once again, this is one of the top receivers in the state of North Carolina, and he's getting after it. All right, up top here. These guys do a good job, man. Watch it, guys. This dude right here, 5'3", like on a good day. You know what I mean? Like, he is a little dude. But what does he have? What does he carry with him, you think? Effort, attitude. He's going to be outweighed a lot of times by 100 pounds. But look at, he's not going to hold the block the whole time. And I don't know why our quarterback didn't throw this, but look, sealed. How much do you think this dude outweighs him by? Got to be 60 pounds probably. 50 pounds, I don't know. He's a pretty decently thick kid, but they're just getting after it. They're just, they're just looking to get that effort, give that effort, have that attitude with them. Now, obviously, you see at the end, which is no good. Okay, you can feel the pressure of the guy where he's looking to throw you. All right, so you just have to fight your hat across. Once you see that dude, you feel that pressure of him pushing you one way, fight your hat across the other way, because he's about to throw you, and that's what he does. So you got to be careful there. This receiver right here, he mirrored him a little too long. Just, he should be engaged and striking his ass right there, but he waits. He still gets his hands inside, all right, and it's just fighting. It's just constant. Look where he takes him. Guys, once again, this is not something that, it is something that we work on constantly. Whatever you put that attention into, okay, you will get good results out of it if you do care, right? If you put that attention into building this culture of being physical and the willingness to block, this is what you'll get. And once again, I'm not saying my guys are the best blockers in the world, but there are plenty of scenarios this season where we were getting after it like this. More times than not, because that's what we practice. Okay, I love this. He is driving them all, almost off the screen here. It's a great job. Great job. Okay, so here's kind of an example, and you can't really tell. Obviously, it's not press man. So Coach had asked us before. It's kind of an off man look here. I think they were playing more of a cover 3, but still, he's responsible for this guy. So he's going to run him off, and then you can see at the end, see where he turns his shoulders. All right, now we want to look to engage. Like I said, Coach Leaves called it a tilt technique. So he's you know, get that shoulder turn. Now we can look to engage and drive him out. Let's look up top. So up top here, guy does, so this is what I like. Watch the strike. But, all right, yeah, you will get a good strike like this, and that's great. But now you got to work, man. Now you got to work. So the dude, I mean, yeah, you get a good strike, but the dude beats you across the face. So if you were able to create that separation right there, right now he should be working flat to cut him off. And he doesn't. So what does he do? He chases the man, and the man's not there. You see that? So pop, chases the man, man's not there. He's past him every single time. Every single time. Little guy in the slot. You gotta have good technique there. Do you think bench pressing helps? Well, I don't know, because you know, for us, probably, like the way I teach it, probably not. I mean, I'm not gonna say it doesn't, because any bit of strength that we're able to do does. So I will say this for sure. I mean, think about it. If I'm benching, right, and we talk about bar speed, right? If I'm benching, that strike, we're gonna get a powerful strike there. Now from there, we're looking to actually bring in. It's almost like a reverse. But, you know, once again, that benching is going to build up our chest strength, our triceps, things like, you know, shoulders, all that stuff. So that strike will be on, okay? But then once again, we're pulling guys in. We're not looking to lock out and extend like other on the other side of the ball, especially in the weight. No, we don't focus on it, you know, specifically or anything like that in the weight room. Our strength coach puts our program together, and then they kind of go from there. So there's nothing really catered, you know, per position, which, you know, I'm not saying that's not a bad thing, because, you know, certain places that do have that luxury where they can cater certain workouts to the positions, I think is really good. You know what I mean? I think it's a little harder on the high school level, but no, we don't focus on it. You know, it's one of our core lifts, or one of our main lifts, you know, but nothing that we prioritize or anything like that over the other ones. Okay. All right, down here at the bottom, you just kind of see why I put this clip in. Watch when he starts to break down, change direction. He starts to break down, change direction, and now he's looking to cut off. Now, the only problem here is he attacked the man a little too much. Right now, he should be flattening so he can cut him off. Because think about it, right? This dude breaks this run. Let's just say he breaks a run, okay? You cut him off. He has no choice. If he goes underneath, he takes himself out the play. Regardless, we're beating him to the spot. He's also too high here. See how he's high? And now the dude gets in on his chest and deals him back. But he's continuing to get after him. Up top there, you know, little lazy right there. And what is he doing wrong? This is the first game of the season. But he's sitting there staring back. Now, obviously, the play's ending. But, you know, we're concerned about this. If you're going after this guy, this is who you need to worry about. Don't worry about the ball carrier. But he does a good job, even though he's not really looking, taking an angle to cut him off. Let me see if you can. Oh, no. Hold on 1 second. I accidentally clicked something on my computer. Okay. All right. I think this is the. All right, right here. You can see him playing that mirror drill, right? He sees that change direction. So they're in that right there, sinks the hip, change direction. We're going to sink our hip, and now we're in position, okay? And now it just becomes mirror drill. And he stays in them the whole time. Now, you know, here's where a dude with a better bench probably gets more of a shot there. But, you know, a little soft on the contact, if you get what I'm saying. He shouldn't be. There's no reason we should be getting knocked back like that. But regardless, we're in between the ball carrier and the defender. But I like how he mirrors and then cuts off. He's in position. Up top, you can see this dude making his way. Once again, he's attacking the man a little bit too much for my liking. Cut him off here, and now you're in good position. All right, this is a perfect example. All right, and I don't think I even touched on it before, and I should have mentioned it before. So we want to always be attacking, always be attacking. So what I mean by that is, okay, cool, we're breaking it down, but if this dude's gonna stand there, you gotta keep closing this distance until we get up on him. This is a touchdown run that we, as a group, all right, we're at fault here. Because this is a touchdown run if we attack the guy. Because think about it, all you got to do is get in front of him. All you got to do is get in his way. And right here, he makes the play because we didn't attack. Always be attacking. Always be attacking. Hey, so they're in kind of like an off-man situation here, manned up here. You know, even from the slot man, you can steal a release. So if you guys aren't familiar with the term stealing releases, just working different releases, knowing that the dude's in man coverage, obviously you're not getting the ball because it's a run, but in your mind, you're starting to generate information on what works against this guy. So he hit him with a little single here. So now he knows if he's going to jump out like that, right, we can go back later into, in a route and understand that this is going to work on him. But that's a good job right there. Always be attacking, fellas. Always be attacking. Okay. So same thing here, and this is kind of going back to that question before. This is a beautiful thing as far as stealing the release, okay, and then still engaging, catching him in that tilt. Boom. You see that? Like, nothing crazy. This is nothing crazy. It's nothing earth-shattering, right? He's not putting him into the dirt. But the fact is, guys, we're constantly hitting. We're constantly attacking. That's what I like. He steals the release. Okay, boom. He gets up on his toes slightly, hits him with a single. It worked. That would have worked, right? If he's running a slant, he's wide open. Okay, but now he's going back in on it. Up top here, he runs him off. Now I just want to see some physical play right there. Do you do everyday drills for wide receiver blocking? Not every day. We do it frequently. I may actually alter that this year and incorporate that into our pre-practice, kind of like an extension of our stance and start. We do stance and start every day, so I may do a stance and start where they got to break it down on the defender. But it is something that we hit on, whether it's in the individual drill or like a group setting, whether we're doing the screen drill or something along the lines of that. But yeah, I'm actually looking to incorporate it more. That's a good question. Okay. All right. Effort and attitude, guys. And I love this kid to death. He's a hardworking kid. He's my only returning receiver, but a little slot guy right here, man. Now this dude definitely outweighs him by 80 pounds, maybe 90. This was a dude right here, and he, this is Scotland County High School. Is a really good program in the state of North Carolina. Always a top program, and they always have super talented student athletes. And this kid's very good, but it is just an attitude, guys. It's an attitude and an effort. There's no reason that he should be, even mixing it up with a guy that big, right? For some people to even say, okay. And this is so going, and I hate to jump all the way back, but when we talked about the Man Up Mondays and we'll do the tire drill, I will match up whoever. So it's not like, hey, let's get two people that are equal in strength. You know why I don't do that? For situations like this. I can't dictate who's going to line up across from you. We can't sit there and call a timeout and be like, ref, our guy is, 135 pounds and this dude, is 220. It's not really fair. Can you get a smaller guy on him? And, just so, so it's more even? No, we can't do that. So when we do the tug of war stuff, I'll line up whoever, man. Big dude, small dude, doesn't matter. Okay. You may get smoked. You may get smoked in 4 seconds. Okay. But the next time you get smoked in 5 seconds, that's progress. It took you fought harder. All right. That dude had to take an extra second to get you across. Not only do you have to compete with the guy across from you, compete with yourself. Did you do better on that next rep? Yes. Okay. Done. I ask these guys, I require one thing of these guys. I'm not going to give them a list of a bunch of stuff to do. My one rule is, or my one demand, I guess if you want to say, is do your best. That's the rule. I'm not going to sit here and say, do this, do that. No, All you got to do is do the best you can on that rep. The best way you can get this guy blocked, do the best you can. The best way you can study, do that, okay? Little things like that. So he's doing a great job with his effort and attitude. I mean, he's holding off this guy. Not going to hold him forever, but he's working. All right, outside guy here. Good, decent, pretty decent strike. Okay, he gets the one hand on him first and then brings that other hand in and gets a decent strike. And then now he's just going to drive. I'll take that. I'll take that. Now watch this receiver right here, number 3. Too high, right? And then stops his feet on contact and takes a shot. No good. Does that guy outweigh him? Absolutely. But if you beat him to the punch, guys, if you are attacking first, it makes your job a whole lot easier. If you sit there, you just take the brunt of all this stuff, you're gonna take shots like that. Now, the positive of this, look at him continue to fight. It's ingrained in them. They have no choice. It's what we do. What we do. Okay, down at the bottom, just kind of showing, once again, this breakdown, all right? And I like that. Get your hands on him. I do not care if that guy across from you stops, because we didn't. If that whistle didn't blow, we're going. That shot could be better. You know, it's not as violent as I'd like, but you know what? He's getting hands on, okay? All right, down at the bottom here, okay, this receiver right here. Once again, strike isn't great, but you know, getting hands on, hands are inside. All right, dude starts to work across his face, and what does he do? He's going to continue to fight, and there's kind of like he's working that reach and run. But see, now once again, you know, like I alluded to before with the blocking, how we've taken something that DBs do, we're keying the near hip, but we're going to take something else that they do. So there's times, right, on vertical balls, okay, you're going down the field, that receiver or that DB will look to pin the receiver's arm down, something like that. Well, this is what we do right here, okay? Pin the arm. That gets his shoulders turned. So if you see, he pins that arm and pushes that elbow back, and now that shoulder is now turning in this direction, okay? And it makes it easier for us to get across his face. See that? And watch him regain position. So engage, pin the arm, regain position. Engage, pin the arm, regain position. He would be in between the ball carrier, okay, and the defender right here. So pretty good job. All right. Up top, let's watch up top. Actually, let's watch down here first, okay? So once again, he's kind of working that. He's kind of stealing a release here in a sense, okay? He comes off the ball, stems it, or sprays it, excuse me, because he's going outside, sprays it back in. But when he does that, guys, look what it causes, and we will work this, okay? He's working that release, right? When he takes that step, it gets this guy to overstep, and see how he's kind of like that 1 foot suspended in air? Well, that 1 foot is suspended in air while we're making contact. So that puts us at an advantage, if that makes sense, okay? And he's working, man. Work. Decent strike. Now, his hands, his hands are too patty cakey for me. They're more like this, okay? So he needs to get his thumbs up and his heels, hit him with the heels of his hand. But you know what? It's not a bad strike. Little slight head, but look, he's working. Now watch the top, okay? Just work, man. Work. See how he's working the release? Even though he's off man, he's kind of working him. He's getting him to turn. Now we can engage. Almost had the pancake. And fellas, you know this, okay? These dudes do not like getting hit like that. And they will get frustrated, and they will get mad. They will do all that stuff, and then now you're thinking about it too much, and now we're getting him off his game. Look at him. He getting mad. See how he's getting mad? Push at the end. What did our receiver do wrong? What did our receiver do wrong except for block through the whistle, which is not wrong. But see, he's getting mad because you don't want to get hit like that. We want to piss people off, guys. Piss them off. I love seeing the DBs get frustrated like that. Okay. Down at the bottom. Now, what does he do? Now he delivers a good strike, right? Okay. Pretty good strike. And he's looking to roll the hips through. And now you just got to stay with him, stay with him, stay with him, stay with him, stay with him. Okay. So here's where he messed up. So what did we talk about before, guys? When we make that contact, what do we want to do? We want to take the air out, right? So right now, what does the defender want to do? He wants to create that space. Look at all that damn space right there. So that's the issue. So when you get the space like that, you're going to get tossed. So once again, right here, he's got to take the air out. So he had a good strike. Now he's got to take the air out and run those feet up under his body. If he runs those feet up under his body, he can't get thrown like that. All right, let's watch down here. It's a good breakdown from the slot. All right, the only thing I'll say is, you know, we're kind of suspended right there. He can continue to inch up a little bit and just, once again, always be attacking. But, all right, we'll take it. He's right there. Strike, you know, strike could be better. We're looking for violent strikes. But he's between him and the ball carrier, and he's going to continue to work. That's all I want to see, guys. All we want to see. Have your dudes give that effort. Down here at the bottom, okay, number 3. It's a good job, man. So he's going on an angle. His job was to go get the safety, okay? Dude starts to make a move, right? So we can't continue on that same path. He's got to alter his path now, which he does, okay? He's able to get over there with the shuffle. He shuffles at first, but once again, what we talk about. If this dude turns his shoulders to run, we got to alter ourselves too. See how he turns and runs? And now look. So when he turns and runs, we turn and run. When he squares up, we square up. Need to get a better strike. Hands got to be inside, okay? But helps spring that run or helps cut that guy. That guy wouldn't have made the play. Let's put it that way. In the slot right here. It's just an effort, guys. It's just attitude and effort. Stay blocking. Did you hear a whistle? No. Keep going. Keep going. Once that whistle blows, then you can let the dogs off. But until then, man, the dogs are off the leash, man. Dogs are off the leash. Watch this guy right here in the slot. So, you know, you just want to get, once again, guys, it doesn't have to be a pancake every time. He just gets a piece, and he's able to spring them. Now, because he gets that piece right here, because he gets this piece, right, where's he at? Right here, okay? Gets that slight piece right there. What does it give him? Another, 6 yards? You know it's a game of inches, y'all. So any inch you can gain, let alone 6 yards, we are taking it. All he did was get a piece. That's all he did. Okay. Slot right here. Bad job, right? Bad job. All right, you see him. There's the breakdown. Now you got to break down. Look where his eyes are. Look where he's shuffling. Get across. But what does he do? What does he do? He attacks the man. So when you attack the man ain't there. 11 times out of 10, guys. That's how important it is. Dude at the bottom, okay? This is what we were talking about before, right? So, yeah, boom, we get him blocked. Now this dude's going to run. Take him where he wants to go. Take him where he wants to go. See how he took him down the field where he wanted to go, and now it's a wrap. Now he's got that hand in position, which is good, and now we're in great position right here. And that block helps spring that run. Love this stuff, guys, man. I love it. I really do. Love it. Okay, working. They're just both working, all right? Could the strikes be better? Yeah, but you see how it's always, guys, it's constant. We are constantly going to get hands on people. We want you to feel uncomfortable all the time. Okay, just to show this, just again, guys, we are constantly attacking. Look at this dude, man. He's sprinting down the field. He's staying with him. Guys, this dude is not even close. But if that's our guy, and that's the guy we told him to get, go get him. Go get him. Let's watch right here in the slot right here. Just working, man. You just got to work. It's just the attitude and effort, guys. Technique's pretty good, right? Hands are tight. Shoot the elbows, all right? Be careful leaning. Right now, he's got to continue to run the feet like he's doing and take the dude where he wants to go. He wants to go out there, take his ass out there. But look at this. The whole time, you can count it. I don't know how many seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just say he had him engaged for about 4 seconds. It's pretty good, man. It's pretty good. Okay. Coaches, that's all I got, man. That's my Twitter right there, Coach_G32, and my email. If you guys had any questions on any of this stuff, once again, I know wide receiver blocking isn't the most, it's not the sexiest thing to to coach up on or maybe even present on, but it's definitely something that I feel is extremely necessary, not only for the receiver position but for the offense. A good offense always has receivers that can block. But it's just something that's important to me. You know what I mean? Once again, I never have to get a receiver to come in and, get excited about catching a jump ball or working a release. But you do have to get them excited and looking forward to and buying into blocking in the run game and just being a selfless individual. So if anybody has any questions, feel free, obviously, to hit the chat or whatever. But I just want to thank all you coaches. For allowing me the opportunity to present. This is one of the cooler, honestly, guys, I'm not just saying this is one of the cooler opportunities I've had in my life to be able to present to coaches from around the world. I just think it's kind of surreal for me. And I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in and putting this together. You guys are doing a tremendous thing. And obviously you all are super hungry to learn and, continue to get better, man. And anything I can do to help you guys out in regards of, coaching football and whatever. I mean, obviously, been offering the clinics and whatnot. And, you guys go to my Twitter. And if you guys haven't followed, just go to the Twitter. The link is in my profile. You can access the drive. I was talking to Coach before. There's probably about 300 sessions in there. And, we're just going to continue to go on. But I really appreciate the time. And I'll get to a couple of questions. We do the mirror drill. It's not something that we do all the time. I do like to switch it up, but it is extremely important because you got to be able to match what that dude is doing. And we got to be able to, once again, move with a sense of urgency with purpose, right? So being able to move laterally as fast as possible, cutting dudes off because we want to ideally, right? And it's not super realistic because the defender is kind of moving, but our goal is to move. When we're doing that mirror drill, is to move and cut him off before that guy gets there. That's just the goal. All right. So we will do it both disengaged and engaged because obviously when we have a guy engaged, he's going to be moving around too. So we want to work that as well. So we will do it both engaged and disengaged. So hope that answers the question. My pleasure, man. Any other questions?
Yes, Coach. I've got one.
Yes, sir.
Do you teach different speeds with them? With them, do you tag the defender due to the offensive run play? For example, the inside zone, outside zone, or bubble screen. So you talk with your wide receiver about a different speed, or do you only teach one speed? Yeah, no. Our goal, especially in the stalk blocking deal. I'll say this: in the stalk blocking deal, we're looking to get the defenders as far down as the field as possible. Because once again, it goes back to giving our ball carrier more space. So if I coast off the ball and now I'm making my contact at 5 yards from the line of scrimmage, then if I sprinted off the ball and made it contact at 8 yards down the line, away from the line of scrimmage, you know what I mean? Like that's the difference. So we want to always be sprinting our tails off, and moving with that sense of urgency and eating that cushion up as best as possible. There are certain for instance, with say certain crack blocks. Now, crack block, you do want to make sure you come with some velocity
But at the same time, you want to be under control. So definitely, you certainly sprint off the ball and eat that cushion up. But eventually, same thing with the breakdown. You do want to come under control, to get those blocks. But yeah, we're gonna maintain that same speed. I want those guys to have a sense of urgency all the time when they're moving down the field. So whether it's we're blocking for a bubble, we're stalk blocking down the field, we're convoy blocking, meaning we're going to like the backside safety. I mean, we are running all the time for sure. This is a good question. Yes, we do coach crack blocks, and the way I coach it is it depends who we're cracking. So a lot of time, like for instance, we've had game plans where we call it we'll push crack. We'll push crack a lot. So what that is let me see if I can draw in here. So let's just say the Z's here. Let's say the corners here. And you got, I don't know, say the strong safeties here. Okay. So we'll push crack. So we'll work up here until we catch that dude in our peripheral, come downhill, and then we make our move. Why we do that is because we want to give more space. So if this is the dude we're cracking, we know, and he's deeper than this guy, we know that we have time to spare. So we want to get this guy to go back even further. But once we see that dude make a move, it almost becomes like a slant, right? We hit our pressure step, we stick our foot in the ground, and we dive right in there. We are going to go for the near shoulder. Okay. The problem with going for if we go for the inside shoulder, his shoulder closer here, if we miss and he goes over top, well, here's our ball carrier somewhere over there. Okay. What we want to make sure that we nail this near shoulder. So now we can drive him somewhere over here. Or if we go for that near shoulder and he ends up beating us across here, well, he just took himself out of the play anyway, if that makes sense. If we're working towards, say, like an outside linebacker or something like that, we may just dive right in there now. Okay. It all depends on the leverage. All right. And same thing though. The aiming point is always going to be the same. We're always going for that near shoulder. But now, in the close proximity, let's say, we're running some type of toss out here where, I don't know, maybe he's hooking here and we're like, okay, this dude's off. All right, here's the running back. He's getting a toss out this way. Well, yeah, we got to go now. We got to go right now, near shoulder, boom. Once again, if he dives down here, we're confident our guy will be able to outrun that. And he just took himself out the play. But it's constantly so once again, it just depends on that. But that's the rule. With the push crack, treat it like a slant. Okay. Run down the field, push this dude back as far as possible, and then you break it off with the peripheral. And I'll do that. Like I will be. Yep. Good question, Coach. I was just getting to it. So I will be that safety. So if this is me over here, so here's the coach. Okay. You got you got the corner here. That would be another receiver, and then say, the receiver that's up is here. Okay. What we will do is they will work the push. And when they do that, I'm backpedaling as well, and then I take off. And as soon as I take off, they got to stick their foot in the ground and cut me off. Okay, and then I'll hold like a shield or something like that where they can make contact. And you're looking to get a good shot. You may only have an opportunity maybe once a game to ear hole a dude, so you better do that. If we're working that other look that I was just showing, it's just simply going working it like. Boom, go now, and just coming at your stance, firing off like, we play with our inside foot up, right? So if my left foot is up, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to step and then go. Okay, so I'm bringing that back foot up and go. No, we always, I'm a big hands guy, especially, you look at guys looking to engage up front. When dudes look to go with their shoulder, right, you can hurt yourself because you can with that impact, when dudes are making impact like that, you can throw your shoulder out. And then two, a lot of times people going with their shoulder, I mean, yeah, you may get an occasional big hit. A lot of times guys go with their shoulder and then just slip off. We're looking to get hands on and we're looking to control you. We're not just looking to hit you. All right. Yes. If we get a big shot, does it maybe look better on a highlight film? I guess. But you know what? We're looking to accomplish the task at hand. All right. So we're going to run there. We're going to fire our hands. Same thing. Okay, so if I'm running and the dude's shoulder pads right here, well, I'm gonna shoot one hand. All right, one hand is gonna get to his breastplate, the other hand's gonna get his shoulder, and I'm just gonna ride him through. All right, and then I'm just driving him there. But yeah, we don't play with I don't teach that, at least. I don't teach leading with the shoulder. Okay. We're always going to go with our hands, but yeah, you can work the drills like that, man. It's super simple. The push crack takes a little more work on their part because they got to use their peripheral. If I come off the line of scrimmage and I'm staring right at the safety, well, he's going to know something's up. So I got to be able to, just like everything's got to look the same. We got to sell vertical. We got to sell everything, right? So we're looking to push that guy back. My eyes are going to be straight through that DB until I catch the wrong color come down in my peripheral, and boom, and go. Okay, so that was a good question. Really good question.
Yes.
Any other questions, guys? This blocking stuff is the best, man. I'm telling you, when dudes start to buy in, and you see when you see physical play, and I'm telling you guys, when the receivers start being physical, it trickles down because we are not that receiver, that group is not looked at as the tough guys of the team, right? They're looked at a lot of times as more like prima donnas and guys that they just want the ball and they sell whatever. So when you get those dudes to buy in and block and all that stuff and be physical, watch the trickle down effect. It'll be contagious. I promise you.
Yeah, Coach. Thank you very much from my side too. Your talk was really eye-opening for me. I think I really like the elements, for example, of reading the hips. You transfer from general body movement, so from maybe tackling or defensive side of the ball to the offense. And I wish that I had known these great keys and detailed view of wide receiver blocking some years ago when I coached wide receiver. But I will hand over this presentation to our wide receiver coaches, and I really liked it, and I appreciate your time. And I think you made the game better over here.
Well, I appreciate that, man. It's just like you guys. It's a constant learning process. We never claim to know everything, but I think as coaches, if we stay hungry, learning and growing, that's the key. I tell our guys all the time, complacency is a killer. So, you just want to continue to learn and grow. And, it just becomes so much better, man. I mean, I'm constantly learning something new, and I'm looking at different guys, how they're teaching it. And, you always grab a little nugget from each person. And, if I can make a suggestion, Coach, and as an offensive guy or defensive guy, you go and sit on clinics that are on the opposite side of the ball and watch how much stuff you learn. Watching the defensive guys talk about how they're looking to stop certain things, or DBs, like how they're looking to play certain techniques. And then for me, right, as a receivers coach, then I'm like, okay, well, if they're looking to do this is how we can counter it. So when I go to these clinics, I mean, for the most part, like, yeah, I'll sit in a receiver one here and there. I don't claim to know everything. But I like to reach out to coaches on here, but in like in-person clinics, a lot of the ones I go to are defensive ones. And I feel like it definitely helps me become a better coach.
Yeah, Coach. So thank you very much for your presentation.
Yes,
I hope we can stay in contact even after Corona. But for today, I wish you a great day, and stay safe during this time and enjoy football when it's coming back.
Oh, absolutely, guys. I really appreciate the time, and Coach, once again, the opportunity was tremendous. Like I said, I mean, this is definitely one of the cooler things I've done. And we'll certainly stay in touch. And once again, guys, if you guys ever need anything from me or have any questions, man, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter. Once again, thank you.
Yeah, amazing, Coach.
Stay safe. Yes, Goodbye. Sir. Thank you.
Goodbye.